Mentegrity, man. I am a man. Yes, Courtney, man and man, we're there. Welcome to the mailbox here every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. And right here on Love 101, the family station. Can you imagine July 28, 2021? Welcome to another week inside the program designed for men with guests who are men, hosted by men. That means Courtney and I are men. I believe you missed us last week, but we're back in full swing this week. It's Mentegrity Wednesday. I'm Kevin Bailey, my co-host.
Yes, and I'm Courtney Morrison. Welcome to the mailbox. Kev, how was your weekend? How did you feel about the new curfew hours?
I tell you.
Thought on those things? You have any thoughts? Old man, you're not going off. What's your thoughts on this new curfew hours?
Well, we have to do what we have to do. The fact is that the numbers are rising, and I think we're very indisciplined in some quarters. You know, you give an inch, a man take a mile, and it's a difficult place balancing lives and economic activity. But we just work with the authorities, the professionals, Ministry of Health and Wellness, and as best as possible, we want to support and encourage persons to follow through on the protocols.
And it's all about wisdom, using wisdom and exercising wisdom, especially now. Yes. As you can see, and I believe the Prime Minister had no choice because, as was seen, the numbers were increasing again. And last year, this time was when the restrictions were relaxed and we saw an explosion. And so, in a bid not to make history repeat itself, I suppose, they ensure that this time around, we adhere to them. I was on a little mission for the last 2 weeks. I was off on the North Coast. My anniversary is the 10th of August, and I know yours is about the 12th or somewhere.
Right.
There you go, got it. So we share about the same time. You're 1 year ahead of me. But it was more time of rest and relaxation, a break from a number of things. And that's so, a whole heap of food. Put on 10 pounds and if I try to take it off.
Yes, but I'm glad you got a breather. Boy, you need to come apart before you come apart. And so it's a good thing to do. I had the privilege of going to a place in St. Mary, Louis Store, Church of God in Jamaica.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah, Pastor David Robinson, good friend of mine, and met some great people who said they listen to the mailbox. So I really have to shout out some wonderful people there. Jacqueline Wright said she don't miss it, and Mavis Gray, Courtney said they don't miss the mailbox, and a big up to Norma and Teddy who give me some good breadfruit, and Andre and David, Deaconess Hill, and a number of others. So the people there in Louis Store, Church of God in Jamaica, Pastor Robinson doing a great job. And so there's
people. Country people are just nice people, right? Whenever you go down there, they always pack you up with some food. I wish I could have get some of them sent me a breadfruit. I also want to give a shout out to the pastor of Portmore Gospel Assembly, Pastor Conrad Reed. He met in a car accident, but he's doing well. He's fine. And, just yesterday, he drove past me along with Dr. Carlton Dennis. I think we have not yet had the privilege of interviewing him. I also met a young lady last night on a program, Minister Heather Green, who says she never misses us. And that was on a New York radio station. Wow. So, Kevin, you're doing a great job.
No, same to you and the team. We give thanks for that. So, guess what? As we continue, Courtney, while there are many changes on the national scale, and you're having a blast on your vacation, we have a Mentegrity guest who we believe is a man that has been enjoying life for many years with his wife and family. And let me tell you, as I mentioned, family, he's a part of the family here at Love 101 FM for years. Nigel Wilkinson. Imagine that. Father, husband, mentor, freelance radio announcer at Love 101. Managing Director of Back to the Bible Jamaica, elder at the Portmore Missionary Church. Now, Nigel wear many caps. I don't think to say hats. Welcome.
I don't know if I remember seeing you in a hat, I wonder if you really were.
Good evening, everyone. Well, afternoon.
Oh, God.
Courtney, Kevin, the listeners. Wow.
Hey.
It's one thing to be the interviewer.
Yes.
It's another thing to be the interviewee.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Have mercy on me.
We're sure we're going to have an interviewers wonder today because you know what is expected. It is exciting. It's a time of excitement. Kevin, guess what we never asked about? What do you think about the festival song that won? I particularly am biased. I love Candy Isaac's song "Happy Birthday Jamaica." I'm really biased. I must say, but the words were good. So congratulations to Statius on winning the popular gospel popular song contest. But I'm happy we can still be having these events during our pandemic season. It augurs well for us. But I'm excited about interviewing Nigel. Kevin, when shall you be in that seat of the Mentegrity? I'm waiting for that too. Listeners, I know you must be excited about this, to know a little bit more about a man whose voice you hear every Sunday night at 7 p.m. So man, remember, we want to hear from you. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. Guess what? You can leave your comments via our WhatsApp line, 876-997-3125, or give us a call on our studio line at 876-968-8327. You notice Nigel's mouth was just moving as if he was repeating the numbers. Remember, you can participate in every program by leaving us a message, on our WhatsApp and comment on our Facebook page. Females, remember though, as much as we love you, this is a male's program. No calls or voice notes allowed. We appreciate you. So send us those text messages on our WhatsApp line or on our Facebook page at Love 101. Okay.
Let me tell you, man, from Morn Point in Nigel, we're gonna get inside Nigel business questions that you wanted us to ask, to find out about him. Let me tell you, it's gonna be a great time and an important time. But we're gonna take a break and we'll have a chit chat with our Mentegrity guest, Nigel Wilkinson. It's the mailbox. We take a break. We'll be right here just after this.
Yes, strong man, integrity man. I am a man. Hey man. DJ Bounce. Make we rich together with Digicel. Just call 142 or dial star 142 # from your prepaid phone for a chance to win your share of $42 million in cash and prizes. Enter to get $500 bonus credit. Smartphone users get 500 megabytes any use data and 1 gigabyte BIP data, while non-smartphone users get 10 minutes and 50 SMS free for Digicel to Digicel calls and texts. Each entry costs $100. From now until September 14th, make we rich together with Digicel. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Life comes at you fast and it can hit hard. Apply for the Credit Union Prepaid MasterCard from C&WJ with chip and PIN protection. Need a card with a personal line of credit for emergencies? We have that. Need a card you can use to shop online for that must-have item? We have that. The community and workers of Jamaica Prepaid MasterCard. All the convenience of a MasterCard. Discover the benefits of belonging.
Jamaicans and donors at home and abroad, the Jamaica Customs Agency is cognizant that the speedy clearance of humanitarian aid in times of disaster is crucial. Join us and other border regulatory agencies for a virtual public forum in our CCC series. Click, connect, and converse with Customs Thursday, July 29, 2021 from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. under the theme JCA and BRAs, facilitating efficient and effective clearance during national disasters. That's a virtual public forum on clearing humanitarian aid, Thursday, July 29, from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Visit www.jacustoms.gov.jm to register and to participate. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
We have only prizes, that's summer thing. So make you flew and take you wheel for your spin. Now you do a look for the text, they come in and then you click, on the link for your win. Spice it up, activate, add it up, elevate, pin it up, let's go, win it up, quick. Join your mobile phone to your home or app plan to your floor phone.
Win tablets, smartwatches, mobile plans, Google Home Minis, and more. When you spice up your summer with Flow, just add your mobile to your home internet or activate any 5-day or higher unlimited data plan to win. Everybody wins every time.
Add it up and spice it up with Flow.
Dial *129*6 # to activate or visit discoverflow.co. Conditions apply.
Yes. Strong man. Integrity man. I am a man. I am a man. I am a man. I am a man. Yes. Strong man. Integrity man. I am a man. Hey man. I am a man. I am a man. I am a man. Yes. Strong man. Integrity man. I am a man. Man. I am a man. I am a man. I am a man. Yes. Strong man.
Welcome back to the Mailbox. You're live on Love 101 FM, the family station, the #1 gospel station right here in this nation, Jamaica Island. We love Jamaica Island. God loves. Hey, we are into our Mentegrity Man program this afternoon. And what a wonderful Mentegrity Man we have with us today. You have heard his voice, you know his voice. You're seeing his bald head. I mean, you're seeing his face. You're seeing everything about him today. We're going to delve a little deeper. He's my good friend. I can do that to him. His name is Nigel Wilkinson. You know, my father told me because he had lost the hair from the front part of his head and just at the side, that you're sexy when you start to bald from the front first.
Aye.
So, Kevin, how are we doing today with our Mentegrity Man?
So it's my privilege. We're not going to hit, as them say, because, time can fly. So we're going straight into it. But we want to say, who is an integrity man? A man of integrity, according to Proverbs 10 verse 9, says, whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. A man of integrity values what is honest, what is true, noble, trustworthy, kind, and right ahead of personal gain. Jamaican Nigel is a Jamaican. Parents, Desmond Wilkinson, a Trinidadian, deceased, and Mrs. Joyce Wilkinson, a Guyanese, deceased. Wow. Became a Christian in 1978 and has remained an active member of the Portmore Missionary Church ever since. He has held positions such as music director, did you know that? Choir director and deacon. Now serving as elder, overseeing the worship and music department. Nigel Wilkinson, a graduate of Jamaica Theological Seminary with a Bachelor of Theology degree and graduating from the Caribbean Graduate School of Theology, great institution, 1998, with Masters in Counseling Psychology. Did you also know that? And married to one wife, Charmaine. Hi, Charmaine. For over 20 years. Let me tell you, his wife deserves a gold medal, being with him for over 20 years. Courtney.
But not only does his wife deserve a gold medal, we continue to talk about what the women deserve. Nigel, if there's a platinum medal, you deserve it as well. You're a great person. You're a man of honor and integrity today. Though there's only one child born to them both, Charmaine and Nigel, forgive me, I almost said something. I teased someone with the name Charmaine. He has fathered and mentored over 20 sons from church, over 20 sons. Probably we should call him Father Abraham. Camperdown High School and its community. So at church, Camperdown High School and his community that he lives in. He enjoys photography. That I didn't know. Listening to good, wholesome music. That I know. And he also plays good, wholesome music. You must listen to this man when his music machine time. Good gym workouts and spend time with family and friends. We are welcoming someone who are quite familiar with and excited to just have an interview with him. Welcome again, Nigel. We want to jump a bit into your past and to find out a bit more about you from your childhood days. Were you born with a gold spoon in your mouth? Were you born to humble beginnings? How did it all start? We hear you are, I learned that. I didn't know you had Guyanese and Trinidadian parents. My condolences to you because they are deceased. But tell us a bit about your childhood, where it all started, and your educational pathway.
Wow. Again, good evening, brethren and listeners. It started, well, gold spoon in my mouth. No. Interesting background. My dad from Trinidad went to Ghana, met my mom, got married, had my brother Earl, my sister Margot. Then came to Jamaica, and I was born, and my younger brother, Andrew. I spent quite a bit of my younger years on Red Hills Road, foot of Red Hills Road by Aki Walk. Yeah. That is where I used to run up and down and ride bicycle and stone mango tree and them kind of stuff. And let's see, went to the Meadowbrook High School. That is where I got, well, I got saved in third form at Meadowbrook High School. Yes. I got saved at Pomo Missionary Church. And, wow, guide me here. There's so much. I wouldn't say a gold spoon. But at the same time, thank God, was never really in want. My parents didn't have it. But or as a lot of us in our age, you never have it, but you never know that you never have it. Yes. So you were content with what you had.
Yeah. Nigel, it's a lot that honestly, just reading some of the things that the Lord has blessed you and you have achieved. It's quite a lot, just listening. Managing director of Back to the Bible. You're on radio, for years, and including this station here. You are doing mentoring, and I know my pastor has benefited from your ministry. Yes, so that many times, Pastor Napoleon Black. So I am aware of a lot of this work that you have been doing in so many years in music, and so. When you were young, did what is it that you dreamt of becoming? What is it, the first thing that you wanted to become when you were a little boy, Nigel? What was that?
Okay, my dream was to be a pilot. That was my aim and my desire, to be a pilot. I think somewhere when I got saved in third form, it switched a little. I'm not even sure why, but it switched to being to going to psychology. So my aim was to be a psychologist. When I left sixth form, applied to university, God's doing, I didn't end up at the University of West Indies, but at Jamaica Theological Seminary. And that was an interesting journey. My dad was not one who was terribly interested in that, me being whatever. So it was a journey of faith, because I got no support from him in terms of covering fees. I mean, I got support to live, but God provided, I would say, two half scholarships that took me through seminary. But, it's interesting. I remember as if it were yesterday. One day, I went on the road to do some business, and I used the last of my money, bus fare. And I said, "Well, Lord, it's an evening of crackers and mint tea," because those who went to seminary back in those days know the mint tree behind the mansion.
Yeah.
That was a lifesaver.
Wow.
So I said it would be, crackers and mint tea. And when I got back onto the seminary, I heard there was somebody there waiting for me for almost 2 hours, just waiting. They had to see me.
Wow.
And the person, when I got there, a friend of mine from high school said, "Listen, the Lord just laid on my heart to bring you some money. $600. No, back in the day.
Lots of money.
$600. Holy money.
Yes.
So interesting days. So that was, yeah.
Tell us a bit about your conversion. You said you got saved at the Portmore Missionary Church while you were in reform at that prestigious school, Meadowbrook High School, right there. Yep. Tell us a bit about that conversion experience. What happened?
Well, it was interesting because, my mom was Anglican. And so when we were at Radius Road, we went to Anglican church. We moved to Portmore. And she insisted that we find a church. There was no Anglican church at the time. So as normally happens, you meet friends in the neighborhood. And there were these 3 girls, very nice girls. And they invited me to church. So I went to church. And that was in the summer of 77.
Mm-hmm.
And I began helping in Sunday school. Now some people are like, "You're not a Christian." Listen, I helped in Sunday school, collect offering, mark register, and that is what kind of began to pull me in.
And you weren't a Christian then?
I was not a Christian. I'm going because the 3 girls go to church and then helping Sunday school.
Whoa.
And I started, mark register, collect the offering. And it was the Easter of 78. There was a crusade. The speaker was Reverend Ernest Clark. Yes. Mm-hmm. And listen, I the first night, the second night, Monday night, I just don't recall ever hearing the gospel as it was presented before that night. Mm-hmm. And that night, the altar call came, and I came forward, and Lenval Hutton, who has been a mentor all these years, he was one that counseled me. I gave my heart to the Lord. And I'll tell you this, to kind of head in a direction. After I prayed the sinner's prayer, confessed, when I got home, I prayed a second prayer.
Yes.
That prayer was, and I'm serious, that second prayer was, "Okay, God, about surrendering all."
Yeah.
That doesn't quite cover my music, all right? No.
Yes.
No. So everything else. And the reason for that is I loved music. I was an Earth, Wind and Fire, Commodores, Manhattans, Sticks, and back in those days, 78, 79, gospel music was nothing of the quality. I was not exposed to anything of the quality that I heard in the secular world. About a year after coming home from a party, 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's like I heard God's voice, like, "So Nigel, you're happy?" Of course, my response was okay, God, okay, no. But let's make a deal. I'll give up the music, but you have to replace it with the quality that I'm accustomed to. Oh. And that's where my journey in music started. My first album, Andre Crouch, live at Carnegie Hall.
Wow. Interesting, Nigel. In those years you were at Portmore Missionary Church, I was there too. I do know Lenval Hutton. He probably would remember me at the time. Okay. I had not yet surrendered. I'm trying to remember. But those were good days. I lived in Edgewater, 54 Mary Avenue, between the years 72 to 80, and attended Portmore Missionary.
Okay.
But other challenges. So you gave up the music. Or you asked for it to be replaced with the same quality. that you were accustomed to. What happened after that? And we want to hear a little bit about your school time at Meadowbrook. I don't know if the three girls at church were fascinating or there were three more fascinating ones at Meadowbrook. We want to hear some of the challenges. We want to know what happened. But go ahead and tell us about the music experience and what happened at school as well.
Well, can I tell you, talk about the right time.
Mm-hmm.
I was a troublemaker, and I was just.
Did you use the past tense? Did you say I was? Father, forgive him.
I used to give a lot more trouble.
Yes.
Is that okay? Right.
Yes.
And I think I was at that stage of my life where, had I not given my heart, please wait. When I gave my heart to the Lord the Monday,
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, when I got to school, news had already reached that Nigel Wilkinson give him out to the Lord. And I was like, what's all the excitement about? Is that people, and they dared me, like, oh, give you a month, And there were challenges. Steve Samuels, my brethren. I went to ISF. I never know what ISF was, but it was the Christians who met, and I was invited. And Steve Samuels was, boy, Nigel gave his heart to the Lord, and he's here with us. Nigel, share your testimony.
Hey.
I leaned over to Steve, and I said, what's a testimony?
Testimony.
I don't know.
Yes.
But one of the things that stands out still, when I was in fifth form, the challenges, but in fourth form, there was a colleague by the name of Kevin, massive troublemaker, and he took it upon himself every morning I got to school to give me a solid punch in any one of my arms and shouted good morning, and he did it at a time when the class, kind of filling up before registration, and he kept it up for 2 weeks. And people are like, Nigel, why you lick the boy and all of that? And I mean, I thought about it, but and it's interesting, after the 2 weeks, that same young man said to me in front of the class, why Nigel, say I'm a real Christian? Say I test me a test, say I test me a test.
Wow.
And it was instructive about how the devil really tries to break your witness.
Yes.
And people are looking on, and you need to just learn to stand your ground, because he will come through.
That's an amazing account there. Listeners, is not me. I am not the Kevin, but just want to say that was really
different grade school.
He said quickly.
Quickly, yes. So Nigel, we want you to share with us your perspective on men and education. Do you think that our men should really be all about getting formal education or education? What should it look like? Because we're really trying to see how our men can be successful. And in that bit, you can also tell us your definition of success. But how do we help our men to be successful? And that part about education, how important is that? I think we're gonna take before you answer, and we're gonna take a time signal. So I suspect we're just gonna take a break, go to the studio, get that, and then we'll be right back after this.
Livewell Pharmacy has many services for diabetics. Stop by for your free blood sugar machine while stocks last. The time by Livewell Pharmacy is
6 p.m. right here on Family Radio Love 101. The Students Loan Bureau turns 50 and it's a golden celebration. Over the years, we've transformed dreams, accelerated change, and contributed to our nation's development.
With SLB, I was able to finance my future, and now my daughter can chase her own dreams.
The Students Loan Bureau has been part of so many success stories, and we are proud to spend the next 50 years promoting equal access to brighter futures. Thank you, Jamaica, for entrusting us with your dreams and for 50 stellar years.
Jamaicans and donors at home and abroad, the Jamaica Customs Agency is cognizant that the speedy clearance of humanitarian aid in times of disaster is crucial. Join us and other border regulatory agencies for a virtual public forum in our CCC series. Click, connect, and converse with Customs Thursday, July 29, 2021 from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. under the theme JCA and BRAs, facilitating efficient and effective clearance during national disasters. That's a virtual public forum on clearing humanitarian aid, Thursday, July 29, from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Visit www.jacustoms.gov.jm to register and to participate. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Look out for your neighbor. Give a helping hand with the children. Bear one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. Galatians 6 and verse 2. Let's work together to make Jamaica a gentler, kinder society. A message from the Church of the Open Bible, 12 Washington Boulevard. Join in our worship service Sundays at 8 a.m. right here on Love 101.
Hey, psst, come closer. I want to tell you my secret. My son wears his favorite shirt for everything. And no matter how much he runs, jumps, and plays, it always looks like new and smells really good. My secret? I use Suavitel Superior Care. Keeps my family's clothes as good as new. Suavitel, as soft as a mother's love.
Yes. Strong man. Integrity man. I am a man.
Welcome back. You're listening to the program, The Mailbox. Just in case you were tuned in some time ago, we are interviewing none other than the man himself, Mr. Nigel Wilkinson. He's here with us, and he's being interviewed as our man of integrity. He's a graduate of the JTS, that's the Jamaica Theological Seminary, with a Bachelor of Theology degree, and the Caribbean Graduate School of Theology, with a Master's in Counseling Psychology. I guess most of us, that's news to us, right? He's married to one wife, Charmaine, for over 20 years, and they have a son. Let me make sure that I'm right. He enjoys photography, and you know, he does mentorship. We're going to hear a little bit more further on his mentorship program. But before we took the break, we asked Nigel about men being successful and his own definition of success. So as we have come back, Nigel, can our men be successful? What does it mean? How do we help them to be successful? And give us your definition of success.
Well, let me start by saying 28 years to be exact, 28 and a half years, okay? Married to Charmaine.
Wow.
Okay. Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Wow.
Education plays an important role. I mean, I'd encourage our men, our young men. There are stats coming out from the university. How many men are not graduating from the various courses, and the enrollment, how low it is. I certainly would want to encourage our men to get a good education, a solid education. And I need to be careful here, because I know there are many successful men who barely made it through high school, but they have made it. Okay, so it's not necessarily the prerequisite to be successful, but it certainly helps you to understand life and a lot of issues that are happening. So I would really want to encourage men, get your education. And I know there's also this view that you're taught what people want you to know. You know, what white man wants you to know. Well, the beauty about education and even the internet nowadays, there's so much to learn. Learn the formal things within the classroom, but learn everything else that is out there, so you can fill in the blanks, you know. So very important. Success. Wow.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, success is having Jesus Christ as Lord of your life. And I could put a full stop right there. Because particularly in this COVID period, and I know a lot of us know a lot of persons who have passed at Poma Missionary Church since January last year. I think we are, clocking almost 25, 26 persons we have lost.
Wow.
Between members and close family. And one thing you learn is that none of this matter, you know. We kill up yourself. We kill up yourself and amassing all this wealth and big house and big car and how much shoe. You can only wear one shoe one pair at a time, by the way, you know. It really amounts to nothing. Because like that, you then left it for somebody else to fight over sometimes. And so it is about essentially being content, setting your goals, setting your objectives. And it's okay to own a house, own a car. In my view, if you have a big house, God allowed you to have a big house to help the ministry. Not that you can sleep in this bedroom tonight and the other bedroom tomorrow night. No. If God give you a big house, you need to open it to help others. If Him give you money, He has made you wealthy to help, not to make your bank account big. And trust me, the happiest people in this world are those who give of their wealth to others.
Nigel Wilkinson, some comments here in the chat. Uncle Nigel.
I'm afraid of some of those comments.
I'm going to read them anyway. It says here, Uncle Nigel, love you enough. Say hi to Auntie Charmaine for me. That's Audrey C. And it says, good evening, blessings, Uncle Nigel. You're solid as a rock. I have never forgotten you testifying that you ran away from Auntie Charmaine when she tried to kiss you before you got married. Paula Powell saying that you ran away when she tried to kiss you. Hey, talk to us about that, Nigel. Eh?
Okay. All right. Let me build up a little to it. Okay. Yes. Prior to meeting Charmaine, I was in a relationship that went south, you know, and it was devastating for me. And I kind of took a decision that that's it. You know. I said, God, if you want me to be single, I saw. I won't be happy, but I saw. I will spend my time building me up. And the equation I had is that if I build me up and I don't get married, I'm the best me that I can be. I win.
Yes.
If I build me up and I get married, I still win.
Yes.
So I kind of win-win.
Win-win.
And then came Charmaine. And I made some decisions because I understood and appreciated that may those who come behind us find us faithful. And it is important to live a life that when you are asked, you're not afraid to answer, and you can answer in an encouraging way. So when Charmaine and I started going around, I just set some limits that some things are not going to happen. And I remember that evening, I know it was coming. And my dear fiance lined me up for the kiss.
Yes.
And I never run. What I did, I simply just bowed my head. But by the way, I hear her laughing in the background. She's here. And I just bowed my head and she ended up kissing my forehead. And we never spoke for about 3 days. She was just so upset.
Yes.
But when we spoke, she said, Nigel, but never respect you before, I respect you now. You know?
I've heard stories like those, and I've heard some of the ladies say, big man, I run from progress. You know, it is amazing.
Courtney, see your wife making the comment. You should read it, you know.
Here we go. It says from Karen Morrison, hey Nigel, my children used to listen to you and Nadine and Love every morning when I dropped them to school. Good to hear and see you. I'm sure that's the entire family when we were dropping them off to school. And then we noticed the ad went to with Nadine and in the morning.
Yeah. You know?
So thanks, Karen. Sister
Riri
says, Pastor Courtney, the rest did you justice. You are looking fresher than ever. Because you are some persons know that I was off for 2 weeks, and so they're talking about the rest. Here we have a comment from Hanson Daly. Monday, ask Nigel about being insurance salesman, please. So we want to hear a bit about that. And then someone else, Nelson, is it Nigel? Give me one of the rooms you have on Nissan after all that ministry. So Nissan is challenging you, saying then when you get a big house, that house must be opened up. So he is coming to your house for one of those rooms. Nissan is saying that. Can you imagine? It was always great just listening to you in the morning. Success, education. Proverbs 10:9 says, a man of integrity, he doesn't seek his own personal gain. He goes above for the needs of others above personal gain. And it says a man's crooked ways are found out. For the men out there, as we are interviewing, men of integrity, have they ever fallen before? And if they have and messed up, can they get back up?
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about that, because I'm sure some men may be listening and saying, boy, Nigel, I dropped down both on the ground,
Yeah.
And I was a pastor, I was a deacon, I really messed up. I ended my marital relationship. How do we help persons? We're talking about integrity.
I say it's important what you said. How do we help?
Yes.
There was a young man that when I was youth director, I got a call one morning about 5:30. And this is a young man, utmost respect. So when he called me at 5:30 and said, Nigel, I need to see you today as soon as possible, me start fret.
Yes.
He said, God, how are you telling me to tell me? What? And when I went to his office, we spent about 2 hours on a bench outside his office, and he cried for 2 hours because he got his girlfriend pregnant. And I queried, I said, is catch why you crying? He said, boy, if it was that, he would deserve the beating. But he said, boy, he fought not to fall. And the one time his girlfriend pregnant. And he used to counsel at our camps, and I gave him 2 years. And at the end of 2 years, I monitored from a distance just to see his life, what was happening, in touch every now and again. And I saw the repentance, I saw his determination to grow in the Lord. And after 2 years, I told my committee, I said, tell him that he is serving as a counselor. And anybody who come to you and say, how come, tell him to call me.
Nigel, I want to hear that again. You are saying that this man fell, but you saw that he was repentant, and although that had happened, you told him to serve. That's unheard of, Nigel.
No. After 2 years, I give the man a chance, and then I told him that I said, there's no discussion. I said, you're coming to serve as a counselor. And similarly, there was a young lady about the same time in another parish. Similar thing happened. Gave her the 2 years. And so that camp, both of them came and served. And served the year after and served the we must give persons an opportunity. It is not some of us forget about, we enjoy the Psalms. We enjoy the Psalms of David.
Yes.
But it's like we divorce the David Bathsheba from the David that wrote the Psalms.
Yeah.
And the same man.
Yes.
The same man that fell.
Yeah.
That God spoke highly of. And so yes, and for those that I have mentored, I've said to them, I said, I don't plan to drop. I don't have any plans anywhere to, but I am human. I am flesh and blood. It can happen. I say to them, should it happen, please come with a shovel and a broom.
Yes.
Create me up. Catch me up.
Yes.
And help me. You know?
I think that's important. That someone needs to come, even as strong as you may seem, to give you support and to brace you. Because sometimes in falling down, it's very difficult at times to get up. And persons wonder, how is it you a strong man can't get up? I don't know if Kevin this wants to branch off into him telling us a bit about his mentorship program.
Yes.
As he's talking about, you know, helping persons. How is that going? What's happening there?
Yep.
How can persons get involved? There's something to be involved in.
Okay. When this happened,
yes,
mentorship wasn't something that you spoke about. You know, and Napoleon. Napoleon, I'm going to take tails out. Napoleon calls me. He may miss my birthday.
Yes.
But he's not going to miss Heroes Day. And it goes back to, it's funny. He may call me father, but we're almost the same age.
Yeah.
I think the impact.
Yes.
So he's the first son. He's the first big son. The next son that really got the mentoring, going. He came knocking at the door 2:30 one morning, and he, for those who know Portmore any at all, he lived in Brayton. I lived over by Gregory Park side, and he was walking, heading to Mandela, hoping that a truck or a bus would pass, that he could step in front of it. He didn't want to step in front of a car, because car really came and him live. He suicidal. And he did not know exactly where I lived, but he said he will walk through the scheme on his way to Mandela. If he saw the car, he would stop. If he didn't see the car, he would move on. Well, thank God he saw the car. 2:30 in the morning.
Wow.
My wife and I were barely married, I don't think a year yet. And 2:30, I'm like, who is this? He identified himself, and that's kind of where it started. And when I say about giving yourself, where I lived at the time was, and I'm sharing this only to challenge people about how how serious it is about caring for our young people, mentoring, opening up your homes. Okay, we had a 1-bedroom, almost quad. Okay, a little bigger than a quad, 1 bedroom, and we opened up that home to that young. Listen, one time between my bedroom and the kitchen, a 3 young men have to step over.
Wow.
In sleeping bags.
Wow.
Just doing what I believe the Lord. I mean, I'll tell you, I said to them, if I had to choose you, I wouldn't choose any of you, no. And the Lord said no.
But Nigel, that is awesome, and the question is, men listening to you, and many of us really just really have been challenged by your life of integrity, the examples that you have set. How do we help our men to kind of see some of the insight you have gotten in order to reach other men? And do you get the sense that in the church we're getting better at understanding what that means to mentor, to care, especially for our young men? What's your perspective on this?
Well, the thing is, I never get a notice or invitation for me, it just happened. It was on the job.
Yes.
I mean, forgive me. You know, these young men have impacted. You know, I don't think we get it. I think we allow society and the whole homophobia to affect us. While serving as a guidance counselor, you know, I remember the first day at Camperdown, I saw a student, and I'm like, big man come to high school. I mean, trapping boy.
Yes.
And I said, I hope I never have to cross his path. Well, it so happened he needed to be expelled a few weeks after. Wow. And I was in the office when he was being expelled. And about a week after, I'm in my office and I sense the presence of somebody. My office is at the back of the school. In space, nobody hears you scream. You know, hear that saying?
Yes.
Where my office is, nobody hear when you scream. And I looked through my door and I saw the young man chopping, coming towards my office. And I said, this is it. Him come for me. Him probably kill the principal and come for me.
Yes.
He stopped at the door and said, sir, may I come in? And I'm like, you coming to get me? You asked me my permission? Anyway, he came in, he had a seat. And he just started crying.
Oh.
He said, sir, what are you going to do? And just to fast forward to another young man, trouble. And I just, one day, sat under the mango tree. I said, forget I'm the guidance counselor. Anything you say will not be used against you. Let us talk. And he poured out his. Where I'm getting is that a lot of young people is Mentegrity so focused on the men. A lot of these young men and big men too have issues. They want to talk but have nobody to talk to. Okay, and sometimes some of us are so much in our colors and so righteous and whatever. They are afraid to tell us. There are young men in church who are having serious issues. They're afraid to talk to the elders, the deacons, because they'll be disciplined or whatever else and whatever. We need to approach them. We need to go to them and say, I mean, let me tell you one of my opening questions to some young men, straight up. I'm like, so how's the sex? Uncle Nigel, I say, hello. Unless something really wrong with you physically. How's the sex? And I ask this of Christians, non-Christians. Well, at high school for a different reason, but in church for a different reason. And I just talk straight about my high school days, the challenges, the issues, even as a young Christian. And they're like, whoa, Uncle Nigel. And then they realize you're human. And they begin to talk. And you're not judgmental.
Yes.
A young man is in church, maybe serving, but sexually active. You don't throw him out. You say, all right, let's work on this. Share the scriptures. Or it could be small, it could be any other thing. And you work with them. And you're amazed. You are amazed. There are persons who have said to me, why are you wasting your time with that person or that person? And where they are today, praise the Lord.
Thank God.
Yeah, time is going, eh?
Nigel Wilkinson. And guess what, Courtney? We needed to touch on marriage, love life. Nigel, how does a young man know that the woman is the right one? Because many men, they want to know your template. How did you know that Charmaine was the woman for you? And tell me,
As a young man, I asked all the married men at church that same question.
Yes.
And they all gave me dumb answers.
Oh my God.
The dumb answer was, why you just know? We said, what can I answer that? You just know. Well, this is a joke. This is a joke.
Yes.
So Charmaine and I were at church for years. not in any relationship. Then I was ill and I went to church not feeling well. She drove me to my house. We spoke. When she left and my friend who was sharing his house came home, I said to him, I found my wife. And he asked, how you know?
Yes.
You know what my answer was? Why we just know? I gave the same dumb answer.
Wow.
I don't know. It's about a peace. Well, let me talk from someone who is walking with the Lord. I think there's that sense of peace and confirmation, affirmation, whatever it is that comes when that time comes. That's kind of the best answer. There's no rainbow in the sky necessarily. For some, it might happen. There may be a tingling in the belly bottom. It may happen for some, but for a lot of persons, there's just that I know. So I'm giving a dumb answer too.
It's usually strange, yes?
Yeah.
So you have been married for 28 years. Ups, downs, everything been smooth and nice, hunky-dory. All men listening think that persons who have been married for 28 years must have the right formula, must have something to it. What makes you stay married for that 28 years? How does it work?
Where you start is important. Starting with the Lord, starting with the word, removing some words from your vocabulary, agreeing on that, agreeing on a way forward. We started off with this thing, OUT, O-U-T, openness, understanding, trust. You can ask our neighbors; they don't hear us quarreling. Priestway, half the things you quarrel and argue about, 5 minutes from now is not worth it.
Yes.
Tomorrow not. You look back and say, why were we upset yesterday? It don't make sense. And when you look at relationships in that manner, you're going to get upset because of what? I'll be troublesome. My wife is here. So, this morning, honey, I don't want to be a nag, but the plumber. And I said, yes, I got up this morning and I tried to fix that. And I did so and so. It looked like it worked. You just have to know how to work and to communicate. Communication is important. Critical.
You didn't just get an elbow or anything like that.
No. She's in the other room.
Nigel, what is it that you're passionate about these days? No, after all of this achievement, and here you are at this time, what wakes you up in the morning? What is it that energizes you, that motivates you, that you're passionate about now at this juncture in your life, Nigel?
And it can't be Nadine because there's no Nadine and Nigel in the morning. What is that?
Well, of course, my wife, Charmaine, my daughter, Cece, ministry, being here at Back to the Bible and the impact that it has on the lives and the hunger persons have for good Bible teaching, solid Bible teaching. Those are some of the things. My relationships, just so much. Love of the Lord. It's difficult to pin down to any one thing because there are just so many aspects.
Yes, we're almost out of time, as you can see. Nigel, please, you're making me ball. But you're more than I was expecting. And the person just called themselves listener. One person had wanted to know, how is it that you know it's the right person? And after listening, they just said, that person looks like, I don't know if someone in studio is saying that, but it may just be someone in studio who's that. This other person says, good evening, gentlemen. I always enjoy listening to Mailbox every Wednesday. Big up on yourself, Uncle Nigel. Blessing. Melissa, a.k.a. Parge. You must remember Parge from a Saturday mornings. I remember Nigel's vigil whenever Love's anniversary come around. Non-stop days of music, celebration, interviews, and the spiritual suns dropping in. Wonder what was Nigel's record for staying awake. All of
50 hours. 50 hours.
50 hours. It's 6:30 in the evening. Leave us with a last sentence, something that encourages the men to still stay standing and remain men of integrity.
Well, it's going to be a verse of scripture that has kept me from day one. March 6, 1978. I am crucified with Christ. Nevertheless I live, yet not I, but Christ liveth in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by faith of the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. Those are my few words in Jesus' name.
Amen. Wow. Awesome stuff. Katrina says, real talk. Ricardo Portia says, what an interview. I respect your encouragement from the heart. Katrina says, I've always loved listening to you. You have a powerful and contagious laugh. Thank you, guys. With that, Kev.
Oh, gosh. Thanks to our producer, Tony K. Bromfield, Denise Williams for technical support, and our Mentegrity man, Nigel Wilkinson. Thank you so much. Again, Nigel, we could go on for another hour. But thank you so very, very much. Listen again next week for another Mailbox, the program designed for men with guests who are men, hosted by yours truly, Kevin Bailey. And
one last one. Mr. Wilton, you introduced me to Love 101. Guthrie says that it is, and I'm still listening. Thanks to you. I enjoy your inspiration. Hello, Guthrie. I am Courtney Morrison, and we see you next week, Monday. Blessings.
Blessings and blessings.
Enjoy your
Bless up, Courtney.
Yes. Strong man, integrity man. I am a man. Man. I am a man.